My bad, I was muted. But welcome everybody to a solo edition of the Evil Ewok podcast. Cat's internet is down, and Alex is preparing for his trip across the Atlantic, so it's just me tonight. We're going to be talking some concern with the Mandalorian in terms of ratings, what to expect from tonight's episode, and then because I had to kind of improvise here, I don't have Cat. We're going to play Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. It's going to be another one of those interactive kind of games that we used to play, but a little different. Like it's an actual video game. So let's take roll call. We got Wevin, 821, Serena, Charlie, and Colin H. What's up, everybody? Let's see what you guys have been saying. Oh, yeah, Charlie's getting ready for Star Wars Celebration as well. Serena just finished Bad Batch. Why didn't Sid die, and why was Treebeard in space? Yeah, Sid is continues to be the bane of my existence, but hopefully in season 3 she will die. New company, brother. I think I'm gonna do this one alone, Charlie. I still haven't decided if I want to do the watch party, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna do this alone because I want to run the totally accurate battle simulator. What's up, Quick Poker? I do not have a cat. A real cat or a cat. But let's get into it. So I'm sure you've all heard the Mandalorian season 3 viewing numbers have not been amazing. They've been the lowest of any of the Mandalorian seasons. They're lower than the Book of Boba Fett. And I think I saw something that I don't know if this is true or not, but I read an article that showed that they were lower than Andor, which I find hard to believe. I'm not sure that's true. If anyone in chat can confirm that for me. But the big question is why are these views so low? Because The Mandalorian was thought to be the premier Star Wars show, this premier Star Wars like property. Like there are no movies right now, obviously. So The Mandalorian is like the creme de la creme. It's the top tier, and yet it's not performing as well as I'm sure Lucasfilm would like. So why is that? And I think it's because it's starting to not appeal to a broader audience. Like the first season of The Mandalorian was something that anyone could watch. You didn't have to see any Star Wars really to enjoy The Mandalorian. And now it's become much more of this interconnected show that ties to other shows and harkens back to Rebels and to Clone Wars. So it's a lot for people like my mom, for example. My mom could probably have watched season 1. She didn't because she hates Star Wars, but she could have watched season 1 and enjoyed it fine. She didn't have to know who Bo-Katan was or Ahsoka or Zeb or any of these characters or Mandalore. She didn't really have to understand that. It was basically a show about a man taking care of this adorable baby. And now it's kind of transformed into something that isn't so simple. You do have to understand Mandalorian culture and their history, and you do have to know. You don't have to know. It's very helpful to know who Bo-Katan is. It's very helpful to know her history. So it's become more of a Star Wars show, and I think for fans like us, it doesn't matter. Like that's fine. It's even better. Like I prefer it that way. But for the casual fan who isn't caught up with all these shows, it's not going to be as appealing. And I think that's why the numbers are showing kind of a downturn here. Let's see. He's alone like Yoda on Dagobah. Yes, that is a very good comparison. Solo, Zach Solo. And yeah, Colin's getting ready for celebration. What's up, Serato Animates? My mom has an Ahsoka and Sabine tattoo from Rebels on her back. Yeah, your mom is a lot different than my mom. My mom doesn't know who Ahsoka or Sabine is. But that's awesome. That's a sick tattoo. I think if I don't really think I would ever get a tattoo, but if I did, I think an Ahsoka one would be really sick just because of the coloration and the patterns. So yeah, so Star Wars Celebration is on. It starts Friday, right, guys? Because I think Alex is leaving either tomorrow or Thursday, but that's gonna be so awesome. You guys are gonna have a great time. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're with people. It's so much fun. So Kat and I will probably be doing a stream where we pretend to be at Star Wars Celebration because we can't go. Friday to Monday. Very cool. I have an intense aversion to being written to being written off. Even pencil marks are too much. A tattoo is one of my worst nightmares. Yeah, I agree. I don't think personally there's anything that I would want to put on my body like permanently for the rest of my life. I think it's really cool. There's some really cool tattoos. Like my sister has a bunch of tattoos and I think it's great and she likes them. But for me, like I'm not one of those like, oh, tattoos suck. Like if you have a tattoo, I wouldn't hire you people. Like that's stupid. That's dumb. I just personally don't I wouldn't want anything permanently on my body. It's just, I got into the first panel at Star Wars Celebration. Hell yeah, Eli. Which one? Like what's the panel called? Because I got into no panels, so you're already doing much better than me. I got into 0 last year. I'm fine with them on other people. I just can't be written on. Yeah. I was actually getting something. No worries. Giancarlo Esposito. Thanks, Charlie. You don't have to get me anything, but if you do, I really do appreciate it. If I were to get a tattoo, I would get the Deathly Hallows symbol, the One Ring, and the Jedi symbol. That can be it. That's sick, though. Those are all great fandoms. By the way, you guys hear about Harry Potter rebooting it, doing it as a show on HBO? Not sure how I feel about that. I'm not. I think that I look at Harry Potter in a way that there are a lot of Star Wars fans look at Star Wars. Like I would be considered like a crazy Star Wars fan. Like I have a YouTube channel. I know pretty much all the lore. I follow it very closely. I wouldn't consider myself a Potterhead. Like I like Harry Potter. I've seen all of them. I've read all the books. I've seen the Fantastic Beasts films. Unfortunately, I follow it, but I'm not like obsessed. And I think that even as a fan who's not obsessed with Harry Potter, I think it's too soon to redo the. No, it's they're redoing the Harry Potter books as a show instead of a movie. It's like it's a reboot. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. I thought it was an April Fool's joke. No, it's real. It's happening. I don't know if it's happening. It's big publications have said it's happening, so I assume that it's happening. I'm never gonna watch that. Nothing can get near to the movies. Yeah, the movies were good. Books were good. I just think it's too soon. I agree with Webin. It's too soon. It's only been 11 years since Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I understand the argument for it is, well, the movies cut out a bunch of stuff from the books, and that was one of my main problems with the movies is that they did cut out a lot from the books, but they still did a pretty damn good job. No, just no. Redoing the Percy Jackson movies into a show is needed because those movies were crap. I agree. The Harry Potter movies were good. I agree. I hate Joanne anyway, so I don't care. Yeah, she's a piece of shit. My cousin's a Harry Potter fan. Well, I'm a Star Wars fan. I told him Luke and Harry's story is basically the same, and he can't accept it. Yeah, actually, if you've seen, you guys should watch the epic rap battles of history. Luke versus Harry Potter really highlights the similarities in their character arcs. I feel very confident we will see Boba Fett in this episode. Thoughts? I'm curious. Why do you think that? Because I'm down. I just don't. Have we seen an indication for it? There's been no hints about Boba Fett, but I think that it's something that I'd really like to see. I like Boba Fett. I think that I didn't like the way they portrayed him in the show, in his show, but I thought he was great in season 2 of Mandalorian. I really liked how he was handled there, so I'm down for more of that Boba Fett. Hermione versus Katniss was a dope rap battle. I'm not sure if I've seen that one. But yeah, so tonight's episode, thank you for transitioning me, Mandalorian Legion. Tonight's episode 6, we're already almost done, which is crazy. What do we expect? What are you guys thinking? What are predictions for tonight? Because I'm thinking we probably see Moff Gideon. We probably see what's going on with that. I think that it's going to be about maybe Din will go with Bo and they'll go find other Mandalorians and maybe somehow Moff Gideon's tied up with that as well. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But what do you guys think? Boba Fett versus Deadpool is good too. Yeah. Maybe because he's a Mandalorian and Bo's uniting all the Mandalorians. I don't know that he's the first one that Bo would go recruit though. She doesn't like him. they they don't they had words for each other. I think we'll see the New Republic more and what happened with Pershing, hopefully. Yes, I agree. I think we need to revisit that. I also think that um, I've heard a main criticism so far of this season is that it just doesn't seem very focused. And I do agree to an extent. I generally don't have a problem with it because I think it's been unfocused, but I've enjoyed everything. What I do have a problem with is it being unfocused and there only being 8 episodes. Like if there were 15, 12 episodes, I'd give them more of a leash to do what they want. But when you have 8 episodes, I don't think you should be doing an episode with 45 minutes of Pershing. I really, that was my biggest problem with that episode. We only have 8 episodes. It was like with Kenobi, like when they did that whole Leia rescue at Fortress Inquisitorius. Like you can't waste a single minute of runtime when you only have single digit episodes. There was a tweet from a foreign Star Wars Twitter a while back that got taken down that said he would return. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be awesome, and I hope that they start to curb him more towards what we ideally want in Boba Fett, because Boba Fett in Boba Fett's show, I didn't love that. This episode is Bryce Dallas Howard, or if you've been on the channel for a while, Dice Ballas Howard, um, and Dave Filoni. I'm assuming at the very least Fen Rao and Ursa Wren could show up. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. We need more of the amnesty worker woman person. Yeah, Elia Kane, I think her name is. Another monster episode with a 5-minute clip at the end to continue what little story the season has. That would be something. I have a strange feeling that Boba will appear, but I also think he will not. We can do, I mean, you know that we like to gamble on this channel. We can gamble. The poll function doesn't really work, so I guess it'll have to be like a word of mouth kind of thing, but we can have an open bet, chat. Type into chat if you think Boba Fett will appear in this episode. I'm gonna say no, and they'll eat crow if I'm wrong. Well, what do you guys think? Document it so that we can see who's right and who's wrong. Episode will be 44 minutes. That's a sizable chunk. Sizable chunk. I'm good with that. I want to see more giant baby reptile chickens. Yeah, they were strangely cute. When it's not on focus, they feel like a good Clone Wars and Rebels episode when they weren't focused. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem really with any of these episodes. I think they've all been entertaining enough. I just think that, again, when you only have 8 episodes, you have to tell a tight story. You don't really have time to be unfocused. This episode will be 40 foot. Rex could also show up. Yeah, he could. I'm really curious as to when they're gonna. They've got to have Rex in the Ahsoka show, right? Nope. Okay, so Weapon says no. The Goose Man says yes. Serena says no. Mandalorian Legion says yes. Sid will show up at the episode where she says she has a job for Din. I should ban you for that, A21. No. 9, excuse me. Oh man, at first I would have said no, but they're going back to Mandalore, and they've surprised us before. So Charlie's saying yeah. So it seems pretty split. It seems pretty split. Anything could happen. I mean, I didn't think we'd see excuse my language. I'm gonna throw an F-bomb. I didn't think we'd see Zeb last episode. I really didn't, and I don't think anyone could have seen that coming. I'm joking. I hope so. There's still 2 scenes from the trailers we've not seen, which are the droid bar and the grassland Mandalore. I'm really hoping. I always assumed the droid bar was going to be one of those episodes where he's on his own and he's helping, like the typical Mandalorian episode. I hope that that's not the case. I hope that it's just like this quirky stop on an adventure. A21, why did you say that name? Live action and Zeb made me so happy. He looked really good too. He really did. Like every time I've rewatched it, he just looks better to me. I mean, there was a time that Pelimoto mentioned Boba, which could hint Boba's return. That's true. That's true. Agree with you on the tight storylines. The one thing Marvel did with their special features was knowing they had a short runtime and making a solid story out of it. Yeah, and I'd like to reiterate, I have enjoyed the season of Mandalorian. I don't really have too many bones to pick with it. I think that it's been more honestly of what I want. I prefer the consistent story that builds to something rather than the like, oh, this episode we're saving someone on Tatooine, and this episode we're transporting this to here. Like those are fine, but I'm just more invested when it's a cohesive story. So I prefer that. I just wish they'd do it a little more succinctly. Tamora Morrison did say he would love to play Rex in live action. He did. He did. And Tamora is great, and he deserves all the work. All the work. If I see Rex, I will not be able to stop smiling. Yeah, me neither. Me neither, Charlie. I'm excited to see, and we'll talk about this more on Thursday. I'm assuming Kat will be here on Thursday, but I'm excited to see what they announce at Star Wars Celebration. It's gonna be kind of like Star Wars Christmas. Like we're gonna get to unwrap these new projects that they'll have for us, and hopefully they show trailers that get released to the public, to people who aren't going to Celebration. If not, our spies at the Star Wars Celebration, Charlie, Alex, Colin, all you guys, will surely inform us. Garazeb Aurelius. I always forgot that his name was Garazeb. Kai Patterson did a movie length edit of the Kenobi series, and it translated way better than the actual show. I believe it. We need a Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett season 2 announcement. Which one do you think's more likely? I really struggle with that question because Kenobi did way better numbers wise, but it has less potential in my mind story wise for a sequel series. But Boba Fett, I did not like that show. But I think it does have obviously freedom to have a sequel. There's no reason that it wouldn't. I just hope it's better. Can't help to see name highlighted there, Zach, and wink, wink. Sure thing, you know. Boba T. Literature of Boba of the Fett is more likely. Kenobi, since they're getting a stage just to talk about it, very likely. Interesting. Ewan's gonna be there, right? Yeah, it's Ewan and Hayden are gonna be there. That'd be God. If any, I think Charlie, you said you're meeting them both. That's freak. That's so sick. That's so sick. BRB. No worries, Micah. We're gonna start the totally accurate battle simulator soon. I'm gonna explain how this works. It's just a fun thing to kill time, and we can talk Star Wars while we do it as well. But I think it's something that I've seen another streamer do with his chat, and it seems fun. Basically, I'm gonna choose 2 volunteers from you guys, and then you're gonna be able to create your own armies in the game, and then you'll fight, and whoever wins advances, and then the next challenger can challenge them. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll do that in a few minutes. Yes, Zach. Both Hayden and Ewan, but that's so cool, Charlie. I'm so happy for you. I can't believe I'm at Star Wars Celebration and then I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah, dude, Colin, you're gonna have so much fun, man. It's like Star Wars Mecca. It's so fun. I was never bored. The only thing I would say is I wish they had better and more food options. They had a lot of food trucks and they were so expensive. And then they had a few places to buy food, but I wish they had more. More. That's just one of my complaints. And also the panel thing. I wish it was easier to get into panels. Because I pretty much just I hung out at the Star Wars live stage, which I don't think they're having, or if they are, they're not streaming it. But if they have a Star Wars live stage, you guys should definitely check that out because they bring guests on like every hour, maybe even more than that. And that's how I got to see Hayden and Ewan because I was just chilling there, and then they brought them out, and it was so cool. I'm hyped for UK food. You gotta have an English breakfast, Charlie. I haven't won any panel, so I need to queue. I tried, man. It's cutthroat. Like I didn't get anything. Granted, I only threw my hat into like the big ones. I didn't want to go see like the making of, I don't know. They had some weird ones that I wasn't too interested in, but I tried for the big ones. Did you hear that the Lando actor from Solo talked about the Lando show staying? They're still talking about it. I did not, but I've heard he's been saying that for years, that they've been talking about it. And with Lucasfilm, I've kind of learned that that means it's probably not happening, because Solo, they're like, they blame Solo for Star Wars fatigue or whatever. Like, they blame Solo because it lost money, and it wasn't Solo's fault. I will keep saying that until I die. Like, I don't love the movie Solo, and even I'll say it wasn't Solo's fault. It was the Last Jedi. It was the Last Jedi. It's that simple. Just the main panels. Yeah. Good luck. I hope you get in. When I saw the giant crocodile thing in the first episode of Mando season 3, I thought it was Lizzie from Rampage, or even a Sarcosuchus. I love Sarcosuchus. Big ass crocodile. I watch a lot of prehistoric creature videos on YouTube. I don't know why. I just I watch so many of them. A Lando show as a mafia show could work. It could. I thought Book of Boba Fett was going to be a mafia show. They marketed it as a mafia show, and it just wasn't. It was like they tried to write it as a mafia show, but they didn't know how to write a mafia show. What's up, Mr. Fett? I'm still devastated I missed Celebration last year since it was very close to me, and now it's in the UK. Yeah, and there won't be one in 2024, which sucks. Which sucks for multiple reasons. A, because we don't get one. And B, does that mean they don't feel like they have anything worth announcing for 2024? That's concerning. But then 2025 is, get ready to feel old, everyone. The 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's been 20 years since Revenge of the Sith. I need to turn this lower. 20 years. It's insane. Where has time gone? Like, literally, where has time gone? Thanks, man. I know it'll be hard to get, and I mean, you never know. It's supposed to be completely random. I was just unlucky and I procrastinated, but hopefully I'm pulling for you, Colin. So I'm rewatching Rebels and finished season 2 and had a thought. What if Yoda sent Kanan, Ezra, and Ahsoka to Malachor because he sensed Maul was there? Thoughts? I think about that a lot. Like, why did he send them there? Really? I think it was to get knowledge or something. Because they really didn't gain anything from that. Malachor, going to Malachor was basically to put Maul on a path to being killed by Obi-Wan. That's basically what it resulted in. So I don't know if Yoda expressly wanted that to happen or not, but he definitely made that happen, whether he wanted to or not. Man, 20 years. I know, 20 years. That's insane. 2005. It came out 2005. Like, that's nuts. 2005 feels like it was maybe 10 years ago to me. The 90s. I still instinctually think, oh, the 90s. It was 10 years ago. But no, the 90s. Oh, God. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Okay, so let's do tabs. We'll still try to talk some Star Wars, but I do want to play this just to kill time. We've got about 30 something minutes until the episode comes out. So we're going to show this, and then I'm going to have to drag this up. Okay. So an explanation. There are different kinds of classes. They're tribal, farmer, medieval, ancient, Viking, dynasty, Renaissance, pirate, spooky, Wild West, legacy, good, evil. So there's all those kinds of units. So basically what I'm going to have here is I'm going to pick two of you who want to volunteer for this. So if you want to volunteer, go ahead and throw your hat in the ring. Kind of like a Sims game. Not really. It basically, you create your armies and then you hit go and then they'll fight, and whoever wins wins. You have no control over it. It's just whatever happens will happen. Have you seen Prehistoric Planet? I have, a long time ago. Oh wait, no. I don't think I have. I've seen Walking with Dinosaurs, and I've seen Walking with I don't remember what it's called. I saw a few of those. 90s. You mean the world didn't start in the 2000s? Unfortunately not. But yeah, 2 volunteers, if you would. Or at least 1. Oh, you saw the classics. I did see the classics. I loved those. I loved dinosaurs when I was a kid. I guess I could demonstrate it for you because you don't really know what you're getting into. All right, so you do this. These are just like your basic tribal unit clubbers. And then you go over here, and we'll have a bunch of spear throwers. And then I would hit start, and then they fight. And there are a bunch of units that counter other units. There's like strategy involved, but it looks like actually I don't know. This could go either way. Do a couple reapers and the rest is hobbits. Colin, yeah, I'll explain in a second. All you have to do is you volunteer and then you'll tell me what units you want. You guys don't really know the units, I'm assuming. So I'm gonna confine you're gonna choose a class. So say for example, Charlie chooses medieval. Then Charlie can choose from these medieval units just to make it simpler because it it'll be more difficult if I have to go through all these and you guys pick like, oh, I want some from Spooky, I want some from Wild West. So yeah, so say Charlie volunteers and he chooses medieval, and then so he can choose any of these, and we'll set a cost of like 7,000 gold. So you guys have 7,000 gold to spend. So you make your army up to 7,000 gold, and then your opponent will make their army up to 7,000 gold. You'll fight. Whoever wins goes on to the next round. Okay, so A21, you want to volunteer. So which class do you want, A21? Do you want tribal? They're kind of like cavemen guys. Farmer kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie. Medieval, it's exactly what it sounds like. Ancient, it's like ancient Greece. Vikings is Vikings. Dynasty is ancient China. Renaissance is Renaissance. Pirate. Spooky is like Halloween units. Wild West like cowboys and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, Kat. You should be salty. Micah, this is totally accurate battle simulator. And A21 is gonna be fighting someone. Okay, A21, you want pirates? All right. Somebody else volunteer in the meantime while we're getting A21's army set up. All right, you're gonna be red. So there's flintlock units. Let's see. I'll zoom in so you can see them. That's not a flintlock unit. They have 2 pistols. Then there's blunderbuss. They have a blunderbuss. They have like a blunderbuss. You have bomb throwers. They throw bombs. Harpooners. They pull units to them. Cannon. That's like artillery. Captain. I think he's got a pistol and a sword. No, you don't have to play online. I'm just gonna do it all for you. Because you set the armies up and then I hit go and they just do their thing automatically. I don't control any of it. And then the ultimate unit is the Pirate Queen, and she's badass. So A21, you have $7,000. Let me know how many of each unit you want, and I'll do it for you. All right, Charlie, you'll face Charlie. Yeah, it's a fun little game. I wish they had Star Wars units. Because that would be sick. Yeah, so the flintlocks cost 100 A21. The blunderbuss costs 160, bomb throwers 250, harpooners 300, cannons 1,000, captains 1,500, pirate queens 2,500. They get progressively more expensive. And they excel at different things. As many Reapers and get the cheapest. Reapers are so good, Serena. You seem familiar with this game. Reapers are really good. There are no miracles. There's no such thing as luck, Cat. All right, 5 guns, 5 double guns, and 3 cannons. Yes, sir. We'll put them in the back. 5 guns. Oh wait, these are double guns. Yeah, but you wanted 5 anyways. And then the blunderbusses, I think, will be a little closer. 5 and 3 cannons. You still got 27K. A21. You still have some more money. You could throw in a pirate queen. You could get some infantry. You get a captain and some other stuff. You've still got some money to spend. Or if you're that confident, you could just go up against Charlie with 4,300 spent. Is Corian Shard on there? No. But he would be this dude. I can't believe they just killed him off after one episode as the main villain. Imagine if Padme's ship never got attacked and they never stopped at Tatooine. Nothing would have ever happened. Just wanted to be sure. Maybe throw in more guns and a pirate queen. Okay, for sure. She'll be in the front. And we'll throw in 2 guns. And you're at 7K. All right, Charlie, you're up, my man. Charlie, do you want the tribals, the farmers, medieval, ancient, Viking, dynasty, Renaissance? I'll say you can't use pirate because it's already chosen. Spooky, Wild West, legacy isn't really a thing. They're just peasants, which is they're terrible. They're the worst unit in the game. And then good and evil. It is interesting. It's kind of like if you're bored, it's just a fun thing to do. All right, Charlie's going ancient. Why? A good choice. Good choice. All right, Charlie, your units are shield bearer. They're strictly for frontline defense. Then you've got Sarissas. They're long spearmen. Hoplites. They have a spear and a shield. Snake archers. They literally shoot snakes at people. It's pretty nuts. Ballista. Minotaur. And Zeus. Zeus is a ranged unit. Zeus is pretty sick. The Minotaur just bull rushes people. So those are your units, Charlie. All right, Serato. We'll see you later. You do have the advantage of going second, Charlie. You can kind of try to counter A21. Cat, you should go next. You should fight whoever. Cat, you should fight winner. I think Cat has a strategic mind. Hobbits are the best unit, though, but they're in farming. Mr. Chance Charlie. Bring it. Okay, winner faces Cat. There's now a great deal of stakes on this. Mr. Fett's putting his money on Charlie. Don't disrespect A21. He's got a lot of gunfire. The question is going to be, can the Pirate Queen hold off any infantry that Charlie has? All right. Well, Charlie preps his army. Kat, since you're in chat, we have like an open bet going. Do you think Boba Fett's going to show up in this episode? We're about 50-50 on it. Chat and I say no. Okay, so Charlie, you just tell me what units you want. You have 7,000 gold to spend, and the costs are down here. I'm highlighting them now. You can just tell me, like, start with these units, and then you can see how much you have left. You think a Pelana of Naboo is who hit Grogu? She was executed for hiding a Jedi a year after Order 66. Possible. Possible. I'd low-key be shocked if he did show up. Almost doesn't feel relevant to the direction they're taking. I agree. It would just seem a little out of left field. It's supposed to be 44 minutes, by the way. It's a good chunk. It's a good chunk. All right. Charlie wants a Zeus. All right. You have 5,000 more gold, Charlie. You want some Sarissas, Hoplites? You want some Snake Archers? Some Ballista? Some Minotaur, Shield Bears. Zeus is great. He's one of my favorites. He kind of chain lightnings, guys. Snake Archer. How many, Charlie? I'll give you. They're 300 apiece. I'll give you like, I don't know. I'll give you 5 maybe. Is that good? All right, you have approximately 3,500. Not approximately. You have 3,500 more to go. What's up, Jarn? What rebel characters does anyone think will show up? Because you know someone is. I don't know if anyone will show up again. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Zeb one more time. But I don't know, maybe Hera. I think I would say Hera if I had to guess. I think they'll save Ezra. I think they'll save Ezra and Sabine for Ahsoka. But I think we could see Zeb and we could see Hera. All right, Charlie, you got 3,500. Do you want some frontline guys? Or Chopper? Yeah, if we see Hera, we might see Chopper. You could buy a lot. Like you could buy another Zeus. You could buy a couple Minotaurs. You could buy. You have basically. You could buy anything, Charlie. You buy a ton of infantry. Minotaur. All right, we'll get a Minotaur. No, that's not a Minotaur. Okay, you have 1,900 left. You have good backline. Do you want to add some front line? Or do you want to double down on backline? Infantry. All right. We'll give you hoplites then. Okay. And then I guess we'll add some shield bearers for you. And that's gonna do it. It's not quite 7,000, but it's the closest you can get. All right. The first battle between Charlie and A21 is about to commence. All right, here we go. They're going in slow-mo. Cannons take out some of Charlie's front line. The Minotaur charges in. Zeus is wailing on him. Cannons fire again. Most of the one cannon's down. Oh my god, there's carnage everywhere. The pirates are advancing on Charlie. The cannons take out the snake archers. It's Zeus versus the pirate queen. Oh, Zeus is down. Oh no. Oh no, Charlie. Oh no. A21 takes it. A21 takes it. All right, it's A21 versus Cat. You fought the good fight, Charlie. You fought the good fight. While I set up Cats, A21, if you want to make any alterations to your army, just let me know. You failed me, Charlie. I almost forgotten about this game. It's great. It's great. All right, Cat. So you have tribal, farmer, medieval, ancient, Viking, dynasty, Renaissance, pirate, spooky, Wild West, not legacy because it's only peasants, good and evil. You have $7,000 to spend. Cat kill him. We lost Charlie. Viking. All right, Cat's going Viking. Okay, your units are head Butter. They're kind of like the Minotaur where they just charge in recklessly. Ice Archers, which will slow units that they hit. Brawler, kind of your standard infantry. Berserker, high attack, probably low defense. Valkyries, they fly in and attack. They're pretty sick. Longship, which is a high defense unit. They're really good. And then Jarl, which is the baddest unit that you have access to. They're pretty much good at everything. So that's what you're working with. How many Valkyries would you like, Cap? They cost 500, by the way. These are the costs: 90, 160 for the Ice Archers, 220 for the Brawlers, 250 for the Berserkers, 500 for the Valkyrie, 1,000 for the Longship, and 1,500 for Jarl. 3 Valkyries. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have spent only 1,500. So that leaves you with 5,500. Am I allowed to switch? You can switch. I'll let you switch. The ship is 1,000. Would you like a ship? I'm actually going to move your things back a little. It's too close. All right, we'll go to ship. All right, that leaves you with 4,500. You still have a ton of money. General Cat. Some berserkers. Okay. Yes, General. They're 250. Is that good? Do you want less, more? Let's go with 4. Okay. Yes, General. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. You have 3,500 spent. That leaves you with 3,500 remaining. I can math. It's been a while. Is that a dragon? There is a dragon. Kind of. The dynasty unit has a dragon and it breathes fire. Cat counting everything down. It's so it fits perfect. You could use some range. You could definitely use some range. The Vikings don't have much range. Some more men in the middle there, I guess. What kind of men would you like? Like a Jarl, some brawlers, like some ice archers, or some headbutters? Because General A21 has shown that he has immense battle prowess. He gave Charlie the business. You need a yaddle. I'll be right back, guys. All right, Serato. Maybe 5 of them. 5 ice archers? I'm going to give them to you, and if that's not what you were talking about, just let me know. Actually, whoops, they need to be in the back. That's where archers belong. And then your ship. You can. You still have a good amount, Cat. You got 2,700. 5 ice guys. Okay, 2,700. You could get a Jarl. I mean, you could get anything. You could go for quality units and get like 1 Jarl and a longship or something, or you could go for a bunch of lower cost units. Or did I pull an old Ben Kenobi there? Charlie, you sly dog. Cat's so frugal. Give me one of those guys. All right, a Jarl. He'll be front and center. All right, you have $1,200 left, Cat. You can no longer afford a Jarl, but everything else you can buy. You can get another ship. You get a couple Valkyries. You could go some brawlers, berserkers, 3 headbutters. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right, you have about 1,000 left. You got 930. For those of you who are joining and are noticing that this is not a Star Wars discussion, we are killing time before the episode. Can I afford another Valkyrie? I believe you can. You can afford. Yeah. Okay. So you got 430 left, Cap. That puts you out of the Valkyrie market, but you can still buy a Berserker, a Brawler, and then some other stuff. Take a Berserker. Okay. All right. You have 180 left, so you can get 2 Headbutters or 1 Ice Archer. More Brawlers or just 1? You don't have enough for a Brawler. Yeah. You can only get 2 Headbutters or an Ice Archer. And 821, let me know what you want, if you want to change anything. All right, 2 Headbutters. And Cath Army is set. 7,000 exactly. You want to change it to Renaissance. Okay. Renaissance. Okay, so you've got painters, absolutely useless. Fencers, swordsmen, balloon archer, musketeer, halberd. You've got a jouster. And you have maybe the best unit in the game, the Da Vinci tank. They're very expensive though. $4,000 for the Da Vinci tank. But basically, they've got Leonardo da Vinci sitting in there and they spin and just shoot cannons everywhere. And they're incredible, but they're so expensive. So those are your choices, 821. Let me know what you want. This is probably the final battle. Painters aren't useless. Okay, that's fair. But in a scope of a battle, they're not very helpful. What's up, Iron Elephant Productions? What's up, Soretta? Welcome back. Deep breaths, Cat. Deep breaths. Yeah, the Da Vinci tanks are nuts. All right, 21. What would you like? Yeah, Micah, go ahead. Make bets. Make bets. We've only got about 10 minutes before the episode starts. Horse. How many do you want, 821? Tank, gotta have it. Then some melee. Your lieutenants are giving you some advice, General 821. You can take it or you can leave it. The sword dudes, 10 of them. Okay. Put them in the front. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 guns and a horse. And another horse. Okay, you still have a bit of money. You got 2350, I believe. The tank, you want some halberds? Halberds are pretty sweet. Balloon archers are pretty good. You get more horsemen. Micah's putting his money on Cat. Halberd things. Okay. Let's see. Episode's out. Okay, this will be the final battle. Okay, and then I'm just gonna fill your remaining thing with. No, that's too much. You're gonna get some painters after all. All right. Place your bets, Mr. Fed betting on cat. And let's see what happens. This is the final battle, and then we will all go watch the episode. The armies are rushing towards one another. The Valkyries are preparing to strike. The headbutters launch in. There go the... Oh! Everybody's charging. This is chaos. The musketeers fire. The ship jumps into midair. What the hell was that? And Cat wins! Cat is the winner. That was shockingly quick. General Cat has won. Okay. It was a... Wow, that was quick. But yeah, that's the last battle of the night, everybody. Cat is our reigning champion. Maybe on Thursday we'll see if anybody can dethrone her. But yeah, let's go. We'll do the emoji rain, and then we'll peace out and watch the episode. Well, I'll stay on, but you get what I mean. Okay. Emoji rain is on. Tarkin. Okay. Give it a minute to pop up. All right.
I'm far when ready.
Do it. Emoji rain. It doesn't rain much in LA for me, so make it rain here. I'm going to turn myself into a circle. There we go, chat. Give me those cats. Those trans flags. Owls. I freaking love owls. Yes. Yes, chat. Let it flow through you. Yeah. I become a literal child when this happens. Yeah. Pirates. Way to represent A21. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, dragons. Yes. Yes. Dinosaurs. Ceratosaurus. Let's go. Let's go. I wish we had Star Wars emojis. Ooh. You guys rock. You guys rock. Okay. Let's go to the Mandalorian. Is it up for me? That's the question. It is up for me. All right. Enjoy the episode, everybody. I'm going to get this the stopwatch thing ready to go for you. Stopwatch. Zoom. Okay, then we're going to share the stopwatch. And I'm going to make myself not a circle anymore. But yeah, if you're going to watch the episode, enjoy. If you're going to hang out, we will enjoy it together. But let's get into it. I'm starting the episode now. Usually takes a minute. Recap. Oh man, it always does this. It always freezes. Every single time. Come on, Disney Plus. All right, I'm skipping the recap. Starting the episode now. And enjoy, everybody. I am doing the intro. Not skipping the intro. You're staying, Charlie? Hell yeah. May the force be with you all. Good night, Serena. All right, I'm gonna get rid of the emoji ring. It's kind of distracting now. Ooh, what is this? That's a Quarren. Have we ever met a good Quarren? That's disgusting. They sound Russian. No, corn suck. They do. Man, if this is Thrawn, Alex is gonna gloat so hard. It can't be Thrawn. There's no way. Oh, love The Fifth Element. Great movie. Fifth Element. That's the name I haven't heard in forever. I know. I need to watch it. It's been a while. Oh God, that makes me uncomfortable. That I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel you. I would hope so, Micah. Guns for hire. I mean, are they? We don't know. We don't know. Alice, our queen is here. Enjoy the episode, Alice. Romeo and Juliet story. Yeah, but in space with fish people and squid people. Kind of looks like Alderaan. It's obviously not, but that's a sick droid. Astromech. I wonder if this is gonna be like a droid planet, like a droid haven or whatever. Gotta have the Big Mac. No, these are definitely people. Is that Jack Black? Holy hell, that's Jack Black. I never thought I'd see Jack Black in Star Wars. Is that Lizzo? I don't know. She looks like Lizzo. I I love that Jack Black is here though. What is going on? I don't know random gaming. I just watched it on Disney Plus. It is weird. I hope so. I guess that would make this worth it. Oh, there he is. God, he's old. Yeah, me too. Din speaks Ugnaught. It's something, I would say, G Morts. It's definitely something. I don't think I like it, but we'll see where it goes. Jesus. I've never seen a B2 move like this. Yeah, maybe the separatists were using him wrong. This is pretty nuts. I just don't understand why they're doing this episode. You only have 3 left this season. Again, if this were a 16 episode season or something, fine. No problem with this, but it's one of the last 3, so I had hoped that they'd be making some progress with the story, but we'll see how this ends. Wow. Yes. Oh no, not the doc. That's the first live action mention of Count Dooku since Revenge of the Sith, I think. playing roly poly. Ugh. Paraquat. You human paraquat. Yeah, I mean Lizzo's not an actress, and it shows. And Jack Black is kind of playing Jack Black. Yeah, first live action Dooku mentioned since Revenge of the Sith. I think, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. My lord. Sir Grogu. Well, that was interesting. Um, eh, why? Why did we do that? Yeah, you're right, G Mars. Would have been the place to do it. It's just so bizarre, right? It's so weird. He seems like a pretentious prick. Why doesn't Din just pull out the dark saber? Why not put your helmets on? Can't. You can't. Just like the Elder Wand. It's just the place I'm at in the episode, Channel Hawk, so that everybody else can keep up if they wanted to sync it with me. I don't like this. I don't like that. It's like a cop out, right? You're you're not What was so interesting about this dynamic was the presumption that she'd eventually have to fight him if she wanted to take the dark saber. Oh god. Okay, let's talk about it. Uh where to begin? I would probably agree with Levin here. I just thought it was kind of silly from top to bottom. Um I don't understand why with 3 episodes left we go and do a kind of silly droid episode on a planet I just I don't know. I didn't like that and it was just tonally all over the place. The comedy was bad, the acting wasn't great. Um and then I think something that's really irks me is like I was just saying, I wanted Din and Bo to have there was always this tension because he had the dark saber and because the dark saber means so much to Mandalore and Mandalorians. There's always the presumption that they were gonna have to fight, and that no matter how good of friends they were gonna have to fight, and that's interesting. That's good drama, and they just undermine that based off of a technicality because and that way you don't have to make either of those characters make a decision or a hard choice. What was the point of Din even getting the dark saber now? Like, what was the point? What was the point of Moff Gideon maneuvering that so that they'd have like, you know what I mean? Like, what was the point? It's like they didn't know that they wanted Bo-Katan to eventually end up with it, and then they made that decision between two and seasons 2 and 3, and it just it feels like that's not what they were building to, and then they pivoted. That's the second time the dark saber is given to her. I mean, I guess there's more of a you could claim, I mean, that she did in fact beat the person who beat Din. So it makes sense. It's just kind of I don't like it. I think it's a little cheap. I think it is unearned to an extent. I don't know. Crap baskets. Am I the only one? Well, no worries. I mean, that's fine. I'm glad you liked it, Charlie. I thought it was just weird tonally, and then the ending I didn't like. Kind of reminded me of Bad Batch, and not in a good way. Also, Din barely is the dark saber. I'm pissed. They're somehow making my favorite show into something kind of stupid. Exactly, Mr. Fett. He didn't even use the dark saber, and they made this big deal about him. Oh, you have to learn how to use it. Like it's a weapon that like you have to feel. It has to become a part of you, and then just throw it away. Oh nope, here, Bo, it's yours. Like, what was the point? Why even give him the dark saber? If you were always going to do this, why not just have Bo-Katan take it from Moff Gideon? Why don't you have them have a revenge fight at the end of season 2 and then she takes it? Like it has contributed nothing to the plot of The Mandalorian other than providing cheap tension that wasn't real to begin with. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, what's the point? It's just bad writing, I would say. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that this means that Bo isn't going to kill Din and Din isn't going to kill Bo, but I think there were ways to have them fight that you could avoid that. I mean, we know that all that would have had to happen is that if Bo beat Din, he would have just yielded and he would still live. Like, and that'd still be an intense fight. I feel like they wasted a lot of drama. Before Luke showed up, is it possible Moff threw the fight between Din and him? I think that's what literally. I don't know if he threw it, but I think he was not upset that Din winning the Darksaber was going to present problems for Bo's quest to rule Mandalore, and it should have, but it didn't because they took the easy way out here. And again, do not get me wrong. I love Bo-Katan. Do not throw me in with the sexists who don't like Bo taking center stage because she's a woman or whatever. Don't throw me in with them. I love Bo-Katan. She's my favorite Mandalorian. I just disagree with the way they've gone about it from a writing perspective. I think it would have been a lot better if you had them have a confrontation. Bo just hijacked the show and replaced Din. I expect John and Dave to do better. It does feel like that a little bit. It does feel like they're kind of pushing Din to the side. And the circling all the way back to the beginning of the stream, right? I think that's turning off the general audience. I think it is because they came to watch Grogu and Din, the adventures of Grogu and Din. Even if they like Bo-Katan, it's one thing to have her be a major character, but for her to, she's been the main character this season. Really, she has. Liked the episode. Sabine did also give her the Darksaber in Rebels, remember, and the ending scene reminded me of the ending scene. It's almost exactly like that. Sabine straight up gave it to her, though. There was no logic like, oh, well, he beat me, and then you beat him, so it's yours now. Sabine straight up gave it to her. Din, I guess, like, reasoned it out, and it makes sense. It's just, I don't like it. What'd you think, Serato? It's a bit of on the negative side, I've noticed from everybody in here, except for Charlie. But I don't know. You're awesome, Charlie. I'm glad that you're able to stay positive even in the face of such negativity. This is the actual definition of a side quest. Surprised to see Jack Black, though. That was a surprise. Yeah, I wish that because Jack Black is a great actor. He's a great actor. He's a great musician. And they chose to make him play like a caricature of Jack Black. I don't like that. I thought it was an okay episode. The world building with the droid run city and society was cool, but they just kind of did a side quest, and at the end, the larger plot moved forward. That's common. It felt like a side quest where they were playing, I don't know, like these tropey roles of like, oh, we're detectives and we know about the whatever. Like they had all these lines that were very cliche, and it felt like a detective thing, and it was interesting. I don't think it was a good interesting though. I also liked it, but not as one of the last 3 episodes. Yeah, I agree, Colin. I would have been fine with it. I don't know if I ever liked this, but I would have been fine with it if it had been episode 2 or something. Kind of reminded me of iRobot as well. Yeah, exactly. That's Star Wars NCIS. Yeah, and it was kind of just all to get to the Mandalorians. The season is just side quests for 80 to 90% of the episode, then the plot moves along. Yeah, they have done that in a few episodes. Them as good cop, bad cop was all right. I like that. I like their banter. I like the two characters together. I would even be open to shipping them. I just thought it was weird. It was like a funky episode, and I don't want to say it was in a good way. And the scene with Lizzo talking to Christopher Lloyd was just kind of cringy. And it's like, oh, this big reveal that Christopher Lloyd was actually the bad guy. It's like, do we even care? If it wasn't Christopher Lloyd, would we even care? Like, it was just some. It's like your classic Saturday morning cartoon where it's like, oh, this is the bad guy, the character that we talked to 15 minutes ago for one scene. Oh, I've never liked Bo-Katan that much, so seeing her being a main character in someone else's show, which happens to be my favorite show, it really pissed me off. I can understand that. That's fair. Really enjoyed the past episodes and wanted to like this, but it kind of fell flat for me. They can't all be winners, though. They can't. I do agree. I've enjoyed the last few, but this one probably my least. Maybe this is in the running for my least favorite Mandalorian episode ever. Hope you enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett episode of Din being cool with the Darksaber, because that's not happening anymore. Right, Mandalorian Legion, and it's so weird because they made him struggle so much with it, and they act. It was like your typical stop on a hero's journey where the hero is not good at something and they need to grow as a character in order to kind of parallel their growth with that thing. In this case, he would grow as a character as he would grow with skill with the Darksaber. It felt like they were setting up a classic hero's journey arc for that, and then they flushed it down the toilet, and it doesn't matter. Like, really, do you even need to watch those episodes of the Book of Boba Fett? You're not really missing anything other than Grogu and Dinner back together. Oh yes, fly safe, Charlie. Hope you get across the pond safely, and I hope you have a great time at Star Wars Celebration. Hang out with my mom once a week to watch The Mandalorian. We have to watch with her once a week, and I'm going to suggest we wait until next week to get together. We used to get a Dooku mention. Yeah, but that's cool and all, but for me, I don't. The little Easter eggs and nods to the lore, they're cool and all, but at the end of the day, I want a good story, and I want good like character development and whatnot, and I don't feel like we got that really in this episode. I felt like they're setting it up for him to fight Bo-Katan at the end. I don't think they're doing it anymore. It felt like that's what they were doing, but not anymore. That was not worth staying up to watch. Yeah, I agree. And it feels weird because we don't have Bad Batch on top of it. No more Bad Batch. Not to mention, why didn't look for the part of IG-11? I would have liked the episode more. Exactly. What was okay? I don't even know if they're gonna do that anymore. There's a lot of threads that they're just leaving untethered. Like they're just like IG-11. They acted like, oh, we're gonna have to bring him back. Nope, you can just get R5 instead or whatever. And then the whole Darksaber thing. It's sloppy work. Then a side character in his own show, yes. Only way he gets back is if Bo-Katan dies, which is a possibility. I mean, yeah, like I said this last week, right? This show has shown us that it can change on a whim. Like Grogu was going to train with Luke to become a Jedi in season 2, and then now he's not. He's not doing that at all. So they could very well do an about face and have Din end up as Mandalore. I wouldn't rule it out, but it just seems like they're hell bent on steering this in Bo-Katan's direction, which again, as a big Bo-Katan fan, I'm okay with. I just understand it feels weird to have her as people have said, hijack the show. It feels weird. It feels weird. Then threatening the barge ride was funny though. I agree. It was funny, but I think there was a lot of character development, particularly in season 1, with Din kind of accepting that droids aren't so bad. And it feels like they reverted that all the way back to him just completely distrusting droids and hating droids for comedy's effect in this episode. Din hasn't outgrown his robot racism. Right. And I wouldn't expect him to be like, oh, what's up, robots? I love them. I wouldn't expect him to be all like happy-go-lucky with them, but I think he should have shown some restraint, more than he did. I can only assume Dave Filoni half-assed this. because he was working on Ahsoka during the writing process on this episode. We can only hope. And the final 2 episodes are as underwhelming as this episode. I'm genuinely going to cry and possibly give up on Star Wars. I don't think they will be. There's no way. This has to be like the last side questy episode, because they're gonna have to start tying things together. We haven't even seen Moff Gideon yet. When we didn't get an answer to who took him or what that whole deal was. Right, he showed growth talking to the Ugnaughts, but yeah, he could have been less edgy with the droid. Yeah, just I'm not saying be their best friend, but he should have been. Like, this was season 1 Din pre IG-11, like when he before IG-11 saved him. That's basically the Din we saw tonight. I don't know, man. It was a weird episode. A weird and not a good way, in my opinion. They're going to hopefully treat this season like the sequels, hopefully. That's the other thing. I understand trying to build towards the sequels. I understand it. It has to be done because they're not just going to decanonize the sequels. They're never going to do that. I don't like it because I'm just not interested in the sequels. And everybody makes the argument that, well, the Clone Wars made the prequels better. And this is true. They did. The difference is the prequels had phenomenal world building and phenomenal plot and story. They just didn't have the time to really flesh out all the interesting ideas that George came up with. Also, the dialogue wasn't great, but that's not important here. Whereas, so it enabled the Clone Wars to kind of just delve into all kinds of things, like, oh, the clones, let's flesh them out. What if Anakin had an apprentice? Let's flesh that out. Let's flesh out the Mandalorians. Let's explore more characters. Like, let's see what Obi-Wan's doing with Satine and all this stuff, and bounty hunters. And it really made the period feel more organic, and it worked because George had crafted such a good story. What's the story of the sequels? It's about the first movie is just a carbon copy of A New Hope. The second movie undoes everything the first movie set up, and the third movie undoes everything the second movie set up. There's nothing there. Like, you're not going to be able to improve them that much. So them building towards the sequels in The Mandalorian, it's understandable, but I don't think it's ever going to be the strength of the show. Din getting saved again by Bo too. Kind of. Giancarlo Esposito is hyping up his role as if he was a major part, but there's only 2 episodes left and he's yet to make an appearance. I assume he's going to show up next episode. I don't love the sequels, but they didn't explain anything. I hope there's a point to all this. Literally, they're just gonna build up to, like, they're gonna try to explain Palpatine's cloning thing. They're doing this in the Bad Batch, and they're doing this in this show. And I think at the end of the day, you can't really explain it because I don't like it. I never liked the Palpatine being cloned. The Palpatine. I didn't like it in Legends. I didn't like it in canon. I think it's dumb. I think you undermine Anakin's sacrifice, and that is the highest sin in my book. Like, you can't do that because the friggin' the 6 saga films, they're about Anakin's art, like his fall and then his redemption. That's what they're about. You can't. Why would you undermine that? It'd be like if the Lord of the Rings came out with a like after the Lord of the Rings, if there was another book and it was like, well, Sauron secretly made another ring, and the ring that Frodo destroyed didn't matter at all, or like it only mattered because it delayed Sauron's rise for another 30 years. Like, you know what I mean? It's stupid. Like, why would you ever do that? Why would you? It doesn't make any sense. It'd be like if in a Harry Potter, if at the end Voldemort just comes back anyways because he made more Horcruxes that Harry didn't know about. Exactly. Harry Potter. It's like, why you don't undermine the sacrifices and the deeds of your main character after a saga. You don't do it. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It just makes it feel hollow and pointless. So I don't know why they'd ever do that. And they did it just because they didn't know what they wanted to do villain wise, because Rian Johnson iced Snoke, and Kylo, I thought he could have probably been the just the main villain of the third movie, but that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted to friggin' copy Anakin again. I didn't like the episode, Alice. Most people I feel like didn't like the episode, but there are a few who did. And I don't really want to get into it again. I just think tonally it was weird, and then I didn't like the whole Darksaber exchange. I didn't like the way they did it. It was for money. Yep, that is the crux of it. A21. We thought Don and Jay were gonna say, John and Dave were gonna save Star Wars. I generally like what they've done. More so Dave Filoni than Jon Favreau. I think Jon Favreau is very inconsistent. He can make an Iron Man, like he made Iron Man, and it was fantastic. But then he can make an Iron Man 2, which was less fantastic. And he can make a Mandalorian season 1, which was fantastic. And then he can make a Book of Boba Fett, which was not fantastic. So I think Filoni's more consistent. But yeah, I mean, like the episode, definitely not my favorite, but it was very creative and unexpected. It was out there. It was definitely out there. It didn't lack for creativity. I will give it that. Wasn't a horrible episode, but definitely a weaker one this season. In the Plagueis book, they at least explained how he learned about transferring his soul into a clone. I guess. I just didn't like it in Legends either. I think Palpatine should have stayed dead. It was a Return of the Jedi. It's not my favorite original trilogy movie. It might be my least favorite of the three, but it ended perfectly. It had a perfect ending. Quick question before I leave for the night. What is the post Alex made on his YouTube channel about looking for an editor? You'd have to ask him. Yeah, just ask him on the Discord, and he'll have, if he has time, he'll answer you. I don't really know. I'm not involved in that project. I think Book of Boba Fett was crap because of Robert Rodriguez. Directing wise, yes, but Favreau wrote it, and it was not well written. The whole save Star Wars thing comes from a POV that everything's horrible now, and then it's all going to be amazing going forward. Realistically, it's a mix of good and bad. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Iron Elephant Productions. It hasn't been bad, and it hasn't been good, I would say, overall. There have been some phenomenal things. Like Rogue One was phenomenal, and bringing the Clone Wars back was phenomenal. Rebels was phenomenal. But then you have the sequel trilogy, which is a massive misfire in my book. And then you have some of the Disney Plus shows, which have been, like Kenobi was a bit of a mixed bag. And then Boba Fett wasn't very good. But Mandalorian has been good. And hopefully Ahsoka will be good. So it has been a mixed bag. And anyone who tells you it's complete crap, I wouldn't agree with that. And anyone who says everything's been amazing, I wouldn't agree with that either. It's, the truth lies in the middle sometimes. And that's true of this episode too. Like there were some good things and there were some bad things. I tend to lean towards more bad things, but there were definitely some fun moments. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, Alice. It felt very much like a return to I hate droids. It kind of undid some character development. So I'll probably go for a few more minutes. What would you guys give it on a scale from 1 to 10 in chat? I'm curious. No, don't be sorry. We pretty much covered everything so far. So if you want to know what I think and what others think, just watch it back. You don't need to be sorry. You were catching up on the episode. I hope they don't mess up Thrawn. I was scared that at the beginning it was going to be Thrawn in the ship. Boba Fett should have went crazy and went with the Crimson Reign comics and had Kira be the big bad. I think that I love Kira. First of all, I love her character, and I also love the actress, who I'm forgetting her name because I'm so bad with names. I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. My brain does this all the time. I'm like, oh, I know this actor's name for sure. what is it? And then my brain goes and throws it all the way over there, and it's like, you're not gonna remember. But yeah, I think that Amelia Clark. Yeah, thank you, Micah. I don't know why I forgot that. I think in Boba Fett, the main villain should have been. I think that Cad Bane should have been more present in the show, and he should have been the foil to Boba Fett rather than just popping up at the end and then dying. But let's see. You guys are giving it. Alice gives it an 8. Micah gives it a 5. Colin gives it a 6.5. Gmar is a 3. Bryce Dallas Howard directed it, Mr. Fett, and which was surprising because her episodes are usually pretty damn good. Iron Elephant 5 out of 10. 6.5 because of Christopher Lloyd and Jack Black. Okay, so it seems like kind of a mixed bag from you guys. I'd give it probably a 4 out of 10. For me, it's the worst episode of the season, and it's in the running for worst Mandalorian episode. I would say there's a few from season 1 that I didn't like more. I would say the gunslinger one I didn't like very much at all. What else didn't I like? That one's just, I remember that one being pretty bad. Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of this night's episode, but that's okay. Someone said earlier they're not all going to be slam dunks, and that's fine. There always has to be a worst episode of a TV show. Yeah. Bryce usually makes the best episodes. How's she falling off that bad? It could just be a misfire. Everybody has misfires. It's definitely the worst episode. I think for what it was and the placing of it in the season, being the third to last episode, I think I could get behind that. Because the gunslinger, I think, was like the 4th episode of Mandalorian season 1 or something. I was a little confused at the beginning, thinking, did I miss an episode? But then I started to get it. Right, love the Heiress and the Sanctuary, which are both directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. To this episode was a little disappointing. The other two are some of my favorites. Yeah, and then the episode she did in Book of Boba Fett was really, really good too. All right. It is 1 a.m. my time. I'm very tired. Thank you guys for spending about 2 hours with me tonight. Kat and I will be back on Thursday for our stream. And then I think we want to stream at some point on the weekend to do our We're at Star Wars Celebration stream, because we're not going, and we just want to have fun with the rest of you who aren't going, and talk about some of the things that get announced. So we'll be back Thursday and we'll talk about this episode, and then probably a bonus stream on the weekend. So have a good night, everybody. For those of you going to Star Wars Celebration, making your way over there, safe travels. I hope you have a hell of a time. And I'm Zach, and I'll see you on the next one. Good night, everybody.